class 10th completed students and their parents. This video is about basically how you need to, or how the children need to look in from class 10th onwards, and how they can effectively study from class 10th onwards. Okay, and this will also tell you a few mistakes which can be avoided in class 11th preparation, and so that you can effectively take your class 11 and 12th standard studies and excel in the dream of academic. Okay, so dear parents and students, watch this video completely so that you will get some points and which can be implemented. So this is Sajid from Guruji, and few points. The first points which I wanted to bring in front of you is that of course, the heading of the video is going to be mistakes to avoid when moving from class 10 to 11. Now, do not be in denial regarding the difficulty level. Alright, so we understand, of course, class 11th is going to be little difficult, and which means little difficult means majority of the students who have come in front of me have told, like, over the period of years, sir, class 11th is totally difficult, and comforts level has gone, and not getting a comfortability. It is not like 10th, and subjects are vast, and every subject is like physics is a separate book, chemistry is a separate book, maths is a separate book, biology is a separate book, and all those subjects are having 10 to 12 chapters separately. Yes, of course, this is the difficulty level you cannot deny. Alright, so of course it is starting from class level, and you have to accept the change, because there is no other way, because children need to understand that yes, class 11 is basically the footstep for the career, and of course you need to understand your comfort zone of being less subject, understanding a small topic and all is gone away now. Of course you need to accept the challenges, and you need to understand that this will be difficult, and only if you do certain things you can make it very easy. So this is going to be this thing. For example, in maths, simple equations get replaced by complex algebra and calculus. Like in 10th standard or till 10th standard, what maths you have seen, to that a transition happens like this. Okay, it is getting replaced, that maths is getting replaced with a complex algebra and calculus. So you would have seen a simple algebra, and that is going to replaced as a complex algebra and calculus. Accepting this challenge, okay, you need to accept this challenge, and make you if you accept this challenge, it makes you better in maths. Am I right? Point number 2 is that manage your expectations. Okay, what I mean by manage your expectation. If you were scoring well in class 10th, okay, let us understand that I know that all the students considerably, everybody scored 90%, 85% and above in class 10th till class 10th, and don't assume class 11 will be the same. All right, the difficulty level increases, and problem solving requires more logical thinking. For instance, solving quadratic equations. Okay, solving quadratic equation in class 10 was formula based. All right, it is basically it's a formula based, and but in class 11 you will need to derive equations and analyze the properties. Okay, so stay patient, consistently work. So maybe till 10th standard, in subject wise, particularly physics, maths and all, you would not have used much derivations. But in class 11, you need to use derivations, and you need to understand the root cause, or from where the problem is derived, and how the equation is started, from where it is started. So you need to patiently stay focused and consistently work on it, rather than it is not as per your expectations, because as I told till class 10 you were the best, but in class 11 you wanted to continue the best, then you need to accept this change. The third point is your preparation is your own. All right, your preparation is your own. Every student has a different way of learning. I hope all parents will accept this, and everyone should accept, all children will also accept this, that every student is got different way of learning. Just see, in this case what I wanted to say, just because of a friend is learning in some methodology, it need not to be your methodology. Just because of a teacher is doing in some methodology, it need not to be your methodology. Just because of your relative is doing with some methodology, it need not to be your methodology. So what I mean to say that your preparation is your own. You prepare, you develop a strategy for your own. Am I right? The time has come for you, because in 11th standard you need to prepare your own strategy. my strategy may not work with you, but you can just observe and understand what strategy I'm doing, and you can prepare your own strategy. This is what I wanted to say as a third point. The fourth point, don't buy any mentorship program, which means, what I mean by this, there are nowadays we know that all the children are into YouTubes and various social platforms, and listening to number of videos. I won't say that you don't listen, but limit your time in listening, and limit what actually you want, okay, or limit or concentrate to what actually you wanted, and don't spend too much of time. Also, there are some people telling that I can be the mentor of you, and I can do this, I can do that. Some videos are talking join the mentorship program, so that they will take you to here, they will take you there, and they will charge some money. So believe me, my dears, please don't pay any money to this kind of channels, and don't waste your time. Okay, so listening mentorship program for some point of time, if you're getting some moral stories or inspirational talks, and you are able to understand a little bit on the development side of any of your development side is working out, then listening it's okay. But there is a mentorship, paid mentorship and all, I think it is totally waste. Okay, there is no need of spending money on that. So you think on this. Next is topics 10+2 subjects are sequential. Okay, sequential mean by 10+2 subject, 11th and 12th subjects are sequential. What I mean by this, actually, missing basics will create problems in you. Okay, suppose a student would have missed a 9th standard basics or 10th standard basics, they will definitely have disturbances in 11th standard. For example, motion chapter, if somebody missed actually 11th standard motion in a plane, and other projectile motion, circular motion and all, you will have little disturbances to understand. And Newton's laws of motion, if anybody would have left out that work, power, energy, this area and all, definitely the students will have difficulties. So subjects are sequential. So you need to understand when you are learning in 11th standard, which is going to be helpful in the 12th standard also, or you need to revisit your 9th standard before starting 11th standard. You need to revisit your 9th standard, and so that your basics and fundamentals are very sure. I mean very very clear, that you don't miss out anything when you learn in 11th standard. Okay, so next thing is, topics are also interconnected. Topics are interconnected. Like for example, like calculus, take calculus, early morning calculus, which I want to say, mainly subjects, especially physics, require a solid understanding of calculus. Yes, we all know that. Who are all past 11th standard and 12th standard came out and will understand, definitely parents, physics required n number of mathematics. Am I right? So without maths you cannot learn physics. So I always say to my student, learning physics through mathematics. Am I right? So that's a real word or correct word to say, because subjects are interconnected. For example, motion in physics is explained using differentiation and integration. Motion in physics is explained using differentiation and integration. Am I right? So, so if you master the concepts early, you will find that later topics are very clear. Am I right? Very clear to you. So please do not postpone learning anything, any concepts, any interrelated topics. Like as I told you, anything which is using trigonometry, you can learn geometry. Using geometry, you can learn trigonometry. So you should not leave one particular topics, because that some or other way in the later case will be there in the will be helpful for learning another topic. Alright. So subjects are interconnected. So this is the next point. And the other point is, set up a schedule to study topics. So I know that, see, if anybody tells us to create a plan to study, yeah, one day the plan work, second day the plan work, third day the plan may work, may not work, and fourth day onwards it is difficult. For example, a student goes to class 11, hardly they spend 8 hours in school, and for example, if the student is going for coaching center, then 2 hours at coaching center, so which means 10 hours is gone. and then the student have to do homeworks for another 2 hours, which means 12 hours has gone. Then for transportation another 2 hours is to be utilized, which means 14 hours is gone out of 24. Now the student is sleeping for 7 hours, which is required, so which means 14 plus 7, 21 hours are gone. Now only 3 hours is left out. Now what is the 3 hours they are going to do? Whether they'll eat, drink and sleep, I mean, like anything, talk to the parents, anything they do, that 3 hours which is for the routines, of course they need it. Now this is a planned work. This is the actually planned if a student is looking forward for getting into JEE or NEET or CUD, some kind of examination, or excelling in the CBSE or ICSE, any board examination. Yeah, this is the correct plan. Now how long this plan will work? Because if you go to, like, first day it is worked, second day it is worked, third day now you wanted to go with your parents for outing and have a food at any hotel nearby, or like you wanted to go for a small shopping, 2 to 3 hours easily gone. Now how you will back up these hours, whether next day is possible? So my request to the parents is that actually help children to from 11th standard onwards create a correct plan, because if you can avoid, like, if not required, you can avoid both the parents are visiting one particular place. One parent is to stay back with the children. It will be really helpful, and for the students to focus, because unless it is required, the student need to be disturbed. The student should not be disturbed that if for example if you are visiting a friend's house on weekends, if it is not required, and if one parent at least can go, if it is very necessary, the other parent can stay back. Or if it is a marriage function, okay, the child is completely focused, means then you have to stay back. One has to stay back and then support them. Okay, this is what I mean by plans. And for example, coming to the subject, physics, if you revisit kinematics regularly, you will find it difficult if you are not revising. For example, some topics, if you are not revisiting regularly, planned topics like kinematics, if you cannot do good, okay, it will be difficult for you to do mechanics in later case. Am I right? So the plans, like some revisions and some kind of formula understanding, concepts understanding, revisions and all is required. So the plan has to be made like that, and the hours also to be managed like that. And the last one, okay, choose one distraction. Okay, this would be really interesting for all the students, because I don't want to say that you full time sit and study, and that will be boring and it's kind of a disturbance to anybody. Even to me it is a disturbance. So choose one distraction, which could be playing a piano, listening to music, or watching a small series, or talking to a friend, anything which is helping you. Because I always say that, like, you would have heard about this Pomodoro techniques and all, like 25 minutes a student is sitting and doing a focus study. After that he gets up and go for next 5 minutes some relaxed work, listening to music or standing on the balcony and watching something. Okay, something like that. So you can do every 20 and again come back, study for next 25 minutes, focused study, then go back to do something for 5 to 10 minutes, again come back. So likewise in a day, if you are planned for 2 hours of study, 25 minutes you can do a focus study and break it, after 25 minutes you can break and then do something and then come back. So keep a distraction. One distraction is required, because otherwise mind will be completely focused and packed. Alright, so if children are following this, whatever I said in class 11th, I said, like, you have to take some risk, and there are no other way. Chapters are like that, and you have to have a planned work. Okay, no doubt about it. So these points and your comfortability slowly will get disturbed a little bit. Whatever you are getting till 10th standard, that is going to get disturbed a little bit. So avoid these mistakes and prepare well for class 11th. In GURUJEE, we are starting the class 11th portions from the coaching for 2-year classroom program for 11th and 12th from April onwards, and we are planned to give like this 9th standard revisions, 8th standard revisions initially, making them to revisit their all basic concepts, then going along with their chapters. So when I do chapters also, I don't deviate much from the school syllabus. Okay, whereas like I incorporate school syllabus so that they get a moral support to do in the school syllabus, because they need to excel in the school syllabus. Only then JEE, NEET or any exams comes. So we do this kind of teaching methodology. Any students who wanted more informations, how to plan on 11th and 12th, you can send a message or you can comment under this video so that I'll be able to help you. Thank you so much.